All of it.
I bet.
I needed it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 5:30, and I will call this regular meeting of the Burnsville City Council to order. It is our tradition to stand for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and we invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would the clerk note that all council members are present? Well, Council Member Gustafson is on Zoom. We're still in COVID, and so we continue to be flexible and find solutions so that we can meet the needs of our community and be open and transparent. Tonight's meeting is being conducted online and in person. Council, staff, and others are, some of our, we have a council member that's online, and the rest of us are here in the chambers, along with our city manager and our city clerk. Members of the public may watch this meeting online at burnsvillemn.gov/meetings or Comcast Channel 16 or 859. If you would like to participate in the meetings remotely, you may join online at Zoom or call in at 651-372-8299. Specific meeting information is available on our meetings webpage and the council agenda packet. The next item on our agenda is announcements, and our announcements have to do with all of our upcoming meetings. Regular council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, February 16th at 5:30 p.m. and Tuesday, March 2nd at 5:30 p.m. We have a work session scheduled for Tuesday, February 9th at 5:30 p.m. and a closed session Tuesday, today, February 2nd at 6 p.m. or later, depending on when we adjourn the council meetings. And that will take place in Dakota B, but it is a closed session. We also have an all-day work session that's rescheduled to February 26th, and that will be conducted in Dakota B. And that room is in City Hall downstairs. Okay, the next item is citizens' comments. This is the opportunity for anyone in the audience or watching who would like to address the council on an item that is not in a printed agenda and not an application form that will be coming before us at a future date. Is there anyone who wishes to address the council? No one in queue who wishes to address the council? We will then move on. The next item is additions to the final agenda, and this is for emergency items only. City Manager Lee, are there any emergency items to come before the council?
There are not, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Members of the council, are there any emergency items? Okay, thank you. We now move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a group of items that's considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. However, an item on the consent agenda can be removed for a separate discussion and vote. Is there anyone in the audience, Ms. Council, City Manager Lee, anyone who wishes an item to be pulled?
I do not see that, Madam Mayor.
Okay. The staff want any items pulled?
No, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council, may I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Councilmember Workman makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Keeley. Does the clerk need to take the roll, please?
I'll watch Councilmember Gustafson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good job, Dan.
All All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Thank you. Our attorney is laughing at us as we're navigating through this hybrid model. Okay, great. Then we move on to the regular agenda, and we have one item on the regular agenda. And this is to approve the Parks and Natural Resources Work Plan. And tonight we have our Parks and Natural Resource Commissioner Jenny Newman, and she is going to be presenting the Parks and Natural Resource Plan for 2021. And welcome, Ms. Newman, Commissioner
Hello,
Newman.
good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
We can hear you fine. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, so I don't see the slides. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. So we're gonna go through the Parks and Natural Resources Work Plan. I will say that some of these are gonna be repeats because we had that fun thing happen in March with COVID that maybe threw a few wrenches into our plans for 2020. So we're really hoping that we can catch up and make some ground up as we had to readjust some of our work plan for last year. So with that, I think we can jump to the next slide. So the annual activities here, you can see, I won't read them off to you. I will, however, call your attention to one of these items that we do often renew on an annual basis that we will not be renewing or reviewing at all in 2021, and that's the deer management program. That particular program, we were informed last night, is not funded for 2021, so hopefully we can pick up on that in future years. But many of the other items here, things like the annual sustainability progress report, and even, looking at opportunities to promote and support our Burnsville parks during new events are continuing on in 2021, so we don't have any other changes to that. And I'll, of course, pause at the end for questions, but I'll roll through the rest of these just so you have an idea of what we're proposing for this year. The next slide on this, if we want to purchase, yep, perfect. So the special projects we have planned for 2021 is really where we start to see some of the differences that the commission has put together over the last several months in order to try to catch up for for 2020. You can tell that I was just speaking in my in my real life work that I was talking about the FY21 instead of calendar year. But many of these items here are things like, the Lac Lavon Nature Play Area. We had some great success with the Terrace Oaks Nature Play Area a couple of years ago. So we're hoping to continue some of that success moving into the Lac Lavon area and expand opportunities for many of the residents to have those things, as well as updates associated with the 35W and Minnesota River Bridge bike crossing, and also just other items on here. I will say that the first item that we had on here was the Lake Marion Trail. I'm happy to report that that particular project is actually over 50% complete, which is amazing for the bikers in the area and just the opportunities for us to have additional resources. So our hope is we'll actually be able to remove that and at some point talk about the Lake Marion Trail at Kelleher Park instead of that south segment that's on this particular work plan. So we'll of course adapt as projects get underway and continue to move forward in the fashion that they're moving. The last slide I have here for you in terms of the work plan is an additional kind of slide on special projects. So we have things on here like the Minnesota River Pollution Prevention Program. I think last year we actually talked about the bats in Burnsville and trying to understand what we can do to continue to see what we can do to help those in terms of the white nose fungus that often impacts those bat populations, as well as some new ideas in terms of backyard composting classes, which are things that every resident can do, even when some of us are stuck at home at this point in time. So an opportunity to really reduce our overall impact on our environment. Predator birds, we know that there's a number of hawks and eagles in our area. So what is the importance of those and how would they impact? And then of course, chronic wasting disease. So as we see some of that deer management come off, are we going what does the impact have on the chronic wasting disease in Burnsville? So that's a overview, a really quick overview. Of course, we could spend hours updating you on why these things are important, but I'll maybe pause for questions from any of you on any of these items presented here.
Any questions for Commissioner Newman? You know, I'm really glad, Commissioner, that you all are taking a look. If you can pull up your slide that has to do with your special projects. But, you know, I'm interested in really understanding the impact on the bats in our community, because I have no idea what that is and what that means and how does it affect what's going on. And then the chronic wasting disease, you know, it's the first time that I've heard that we have perhaps a problem. So I'm glad that you're looking into all of these things and that there will be a report that informs us and educates us about all of this. So I'm glad that you all are taking a look at all of these things that, boy, have not crossed my radar.
That's what our job is to think about kind of those opportunities in our parks and natural resources to understand what things can we have an impact on, what things should we be paying attention to. You know, I think the chronic wasting is a good example of, we don't know whether or not it's something to pay attention to yet, but understanding if it should or should not, I think it's just as important as understanding what we would do. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. The other piece is that I really like the fact that because I know the Terrace Oaks Natural Park is such a success, and I hear so much from our families how much the children enjoy that, and that we're going to be doing another one at Lac La Vanne. So that would be a little different from Terrace Oaks.
It is. It would be different. So, you know, Terrace Oaks is kind of set back in a nice wooded area. If you actually go there today, there's a whole bunch of snow forts built in there, which I think is kind of fun for the kids. But Lac La Vanne would look a little bit different. We'll hopefully be able to review some of those plans here in this year and then see some development shortly after. So very exciting kind of opportunities as we think about, you know, I think about when I was little, never would they make like a nature play area for us at that point in time. But I think it's one of those things where as we grow older, we understand the impact that kind of activity and just exploration has on some of our young citizens. So I'm excited about it. I know I probably will not be bringing my kids to Lac La Vanne, but we definitely go down to what my kids coin the new park down at Terrace Oaks all the time. So I don't know why it's the new park, maybe because it has sticks and that kind of stuff, which is fun, but you know, definitely a fun experience for the kiddos. So.
My last comment has to do with the Lake Marion Trail. Is this the last leg of it?
JJ, I'm going to call in JJ, who's I know is online with me. Do you, I think it's close to the last leg, isn't it? I can't remember if it's the last leg or the second to the last.
Yeah. I see that our Public Works Director is also present because the Lake Marion, oh my God.
In the shadows.
How much, we have been working on this for such a long time, and are we getting close to closing that gap in terms of finishing up that leg here in Burnsville?
JJ, do you want me to take it?
I'm waiting for you to go, Ryan.
Okay. Madam Mayor, members of the council, and PNRC members, there still is most definitely a gap between the Rudy Kramer Nature Preserve and Sunset Pond Park. So that is we've built that Rose Bluff Trail down the hill into Rudy Kramer Nature Preserve. Then we'll have this one done, but we'll have that gap between Sunset Pond Park and then Williams Drive up there on the top. That's we're trying to work with Dakota County to get a grant to study what that alignment will be. And then if we figure that out, then we would go for some more federal funding to try to get that. So that's a years out kind of deal, because even if you get the federal funding, it's 3 or 4 years till it actually gets built. So that's the status there. There's a logical way to bike though, you know, Judicial Road has nice shoulders on it, and you can go up there, but it's not the same as an off-road facility the whole way.
Okay, and then that southern leg that you have on your work plan for this year on the Lake Marion? Is that the one that you're talking about, Public Works Director Peterson?
No, I think that was left over from a slide from last year where they were reviewing, or the PNRC did a good job of reviewing that plan. It just, as the commissioner member, I'm sorry, Jenny is right, I'm sorry, I'm still fumbling with your name, but.
Jenny, no, you're fine. Go for it.
What Jenny talked about was they reviewed it last year and then her report indicated what was accurate, that we're about halfway through with it. So that it's the same segment that they were talking about there.
Okay. All right, just wondering, we've been working on this Lake Marion Trail for such a long time. Just wanted to see where we, how long we've progressed through it. So I see that we need more money to close that gap from the Rudy Kramer Nature Preserve to Sunset Pond.
Yep.
So we need money to close that gap. But the other one is funded.
It's built, it's half built. So yeah, it's federal funding, Dakota County Parks, and Park Dedication Fund that we have here is the funding sources for that project. They're actually out there right now in the wetland area because they can only build that boardwalk in the wintertime when it's frozen. So they're actually doing that during this month.
Okay, thank you. Nice work. Be nice to see that Lake Marion Trail, we can say, yay, it's done. But we chunk these things along and pretty soon they all get completed. So, okay, great. Thank you so much. And Commissioner Newman, we have a question from Councilmember Schultz.
Thank you. So one of my questions is on the predator birds for Burnsville, on that update, do you know about when you are going to be looking at having that?
I'm not clear in the schedule. I thought we had it summer, right, JJ, or was it earlier than that?
Councilmember Schultz, thank you for the question. Yes, we are looking at summertime review of that. We just have to find the right resources to bring us the proper information that we're looking for. So.
Okay, and then I just have one
Yeah.
other one. I know in the past we've gotten an update on a specific type of bee that we have in Burnsville that was thought to be near extinction or at extinction. It's a heritage type of bee. And I think it was only found in one spot in Burnsville. So I didn't know if we were going to be updated on, how those hives are still going or not. I didn't see it in my report. I know I'm putting you on the spot. But, that is one thing I was wondering about is, is it called a blush bee or a brown bee?
So I think the one you might be referring to is the rusty patch
Yes,
bumblebee,
yes,
which
the
is
rusty patch.
present in our community.
Yes.
We don't have a plan for an update at this point. I think I'll actually call out many of the opportunities that we have for some of our native gardens and that kind of stuff that are actually targeted to helping that particular population of bee
Yes.
and some of our other endangered kind of insect friends that are around. So we were not planning on having an update on that, just given there's lots of other opportunities in flight to ensure that we're able to protect them and help them out. As well as I know, like the state of Minnesota actually does a great job as well.
Right.
So we weren't planning on doubling up in that aspect, but we're of course, amendable that we can add it if there's interest.
And I'm not asking that you do a special report on this or anything like that. But if it does come up in one of your other areas, such as, your backyard gardening and your naturalizing efforts or anything like that, if you could just throw something in there.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
would be
I
fantastic.
mean, and also, some of the opportunities for the normal areas within some of the parks will also help out those particular bees. So I think we have a lot of things underway that we can try to slip it into some of those other updates as time goes on. Or you can come to my backyard because I have a whole population of them back in the corner. So,
wow.
I think there's lots of opportunities that we're helping those guys out as much as possible, knowing how important they are to our overall ecosystem. So.
Well, and I will return the favor if you would like to study some predator birds, especially the owls, you can come to our townhomes because they're chowing on the squirrels like crazy. So these are some happy owls.
Yeah, between the birds and the bats, I feel like, there's definitely benefits to them. And then it's how do we help them find their balance, right? I think that's much of what we have to do is you don't want too many, but you don't want too few at the end of the day. So,
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Great.
yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and all of the things that you're doing now really has a tie back to our sustainability plan. As I listen to the things that you have on your list and some of the special projects, this really helps us in our community because we care about our environment. So thank you for all the work that you all are doing. Please extend our gratitude to your fellow commissioners.
Will do. And thank you to the staff that's helped us along the way too. It's always nice to have a good team in terms of getting some of these work plans put together.
Okay, very good. Members of the council, if there are no other questions, I need a motion to adopt the plan.
Motion to approve.
Councilmember Schultz makes a motion,
Second.
second by Councilmember Workman. The clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Gustafson.
Aye.
Mayor Couch.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeley.
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz.
Yes.
Councilmember Workman.
Aye.
And the motion passes. Thank you so much, Commissioner Newman. We appreciate you and your colleagues on the commission. And thank you so much, Public Works Director Peterson and Facility Superintendent JJ Ryan. Thank you so much. All right. Members of the council, there are no other items to come before us this evening, and a motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Councilmember Workman makes the motion, second by Councilmember Keeley. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. And the motion passes, and we stand adjourned. Good night, and thank you for being with us. And our attorney puts up a thumbs up, too. We're okay with this. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. We are now adjourned.